Chile, summer of 1962. It was a year when football was more than just a sport. It was a religion, where the Brazilian team achieved a great feat, successfully defending their world title. With their fiery, artistic attacking style, they transformed the South American pitches into endless Samba dance stages. But behind the eternal glory of the Jules Rimet Cup lie lives with their own unique destinies. 63 years have passed, and time has etched indelible marks on their lives. Some have become immortal legends, some have chosen a quieter path, and others have had to end their journeys in tragic, somber moments. Let's look back at the tumultuous journey of the 22 heroes who embodied the spirit of that golden generation of Brazil. Didi was more than just a midfielder. He was the brain, the heartbeat, and the embodiment of elegance on the pitch. At 33, an age when many players of his time were already thinking about retirement, Didi stood tall in midfield like a conductor leading a Samba symphony. His standout features included perfectly accurate long passes and especially the legendary folha seca, falling leaf, free kick, leaving an indelible mark. Didi's performance at 33 demonstrated composure, masterful tactical vision, and leadership, guiding his younger teammates through the most difficult times in Pelé's absence. After his success in Chile, Didi continued his journey as a football legend. He didn't stop at just being a player, but embarked on a challenging coaching career. He led the Peruvian national team to the quarter-finals of the 1970 World Cup, a feat that earned the admiration of the entire world. His coaching career took him to many countries, from Turkey to Kuwait, where he always strived to spread his philosophy of beautiful football. In his personal life, Didi was a man of integrity and honor. He had a deep and loving marriage with Guiomar, who stood by him through both his glorious days at Botafogo and his quieter times at Real Madrid. Didi always maintained a noble demeanor, avoiding scandalous controversies and focusing on studying football as a science. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his on-field role and real life. The image of a flamboyant artist strangely reflected in his life. On the field, he was the elegant Mr. Football, while off the field, Didi was a profound, calm man who always maintained his dignity amidst the storms of life. However, that glorious journey came to an abrupt end. On May 12, 2001, Didi passed away at the age of 72 due to complications from cancer. His passing has left a huge void in the hearts of fans, but his legacy as a falling golden leaf and the character of a true gentleman on the pitch will forever be a thought-provoking life story for future generations. Guilherme dos Santos Neves was the heart and soul of the goal, the most solid cornerstone. With his calm demeanor and exceptional reflexes, he played the full 540 minutes, keeping a clean sheet in crucial matches. At the age of 31, Guilherme's performance brilliantly showcased the character of one of the greatest goalkeepers Brazil has ever produced. He not only caught the ball with his hands, but also with an unnerving stillness that frustrated every opposing striker. After the 1962 World Cup, Guilherme went on to win countless titles with Santos, alongside Pelé, to dominate world club football. He won 2 Copa Libertadores titles and 2 Intercontinental Cups with Santos, a collection of trophies any player would dream of. Guilherme's personal life was a love song of simplicity. He married Jandira and built a peaceful home, far from the glitz and glamour of the spotlight. After retiring in 1969, he transitioned to the automotive business and engaged in social activities, always maintaining the image of an exemplary gentleman. Most noteworthy is how the image of a silent hero on the field perfectly reflected his real life. While on the field, he was a pillar of support for an entire nation. Off the field, Guilherme was humble, always striving to overcome personal challenges with his inherent composure. However, that glorious and peaceful journey came to an end after a long battle with illness. On August 25, 2013, Gilmar passed away at the age of 83 after a sudden heart attack. His passing leaves behind immeasurable grief, but the story of his golden hands and gentle smile will forever be immortalized in football history. Mauro Ramos entered the 1962 World Cup with the responsibility of a leader, replacing the legendary Bellini. At the age of 31, he was a rock in the defense with his intelligent and extremely tenacious playing style. Distinguished by his excellent situational awareness and composed leadership, he played the full 540 minutes, making a significant contribution to the solidity of the Brazilian defense. Mauro's performance at the age of 31 demonstrated his exceptional character. He not only defended but also initiated attacks from his own half with a rare elegance for a central defender. Mauro's career after the tournament was closely linked to Santos's glory. He became the captain who lifted every prestigious trophy of this golden era. After retiring from playing, he transitioned to coaching, managing Santos and Coritiba, always upholding his philosophy of clean and beautiful football. Mauro's everyday life was a peaceful haven. He devoted much of his time to his family and his passion for classical music. He was known as an intellectual, moderate, and extremely professional man in all his endeavors. The connection between his on-field role and his real life was unwavering. It seemed as though the image of an artistic warrior had strangely intertwined with his destiny. While on the field, he was a steely commander. Off the field, Mauro was gentle, refined, and always willing to help the younger generation. However, that dignified journey ended quietly. On September 18, 2002, Mauro Ramos passed away at the age of 72 from stomach cancer. His legacy is not only his trophies, but also a benchmark of the demeanor of a great captain. Jalma Santos, at the 1962 World Cup in Chile, embodied timeless resilience. At 33, he tirelessly ran down the right flank, participating in every match of the tournament. With extraordinary physical strength and masterful individual technique, he left an indelible mark, especially with his stunning assist for Vava's goal in the final. Jalma's performance at 33 brilliantly demonstrated the mindset of a modern defender, solid in defense and explosive in attack. After the World Cup, he continued to play at the highest level until the age of 41 for Atlético Paranaense, a record for longevity in football at the time. He also dedicated much of his time to youth development after retirement, establishing football academies in Brazil and Italy. In his personal life, Jalma Santos was a man full of optimistic energy. He had a happy family and was always actively involved in charitable activities, using football to help underprivileged children overcome adversity. Jalma pursued a philosophy of selfless dedication, always striving for the community. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role as a silent hero on the wing and his real life. His strong demeanor on the pitch was replaced by warmth and gentleness off the field. However, that passionate heart stopped beating after a long battle with pneumonia. On July 23, 2013, Jalma Santos passed away at the age of 84. His passing leaves a great void, but his optimistic spirit and legacy of modern fullback play will forever be an inspiration to the world of football. Nilton Santos entered the 1962 World Cup at the age of 37, a rare age in top-level football. Yet, the encyclopedia still played with great composure on the left wing, playing in all 6 matches. With his exceptional intelligence and elegant ball control, he delivered a brilliant performance, proving that age is just a number when one possesses a genius mind. After winning his 2nd consecutive World Cup, he returned to Botafogo and played 2 more seasons before retiring, dedicating his entire 16-year professional career to a single club, a testament to his unwavering loyalty. After hanging up his boots, he became involved in writing and advising the club, always holding a special place in the hearts of Brazilian fans. Nilton Santos's personal life was a journey of profound contemplation. He was a lover of knowledge, fond of reading and studying philosophy. He lived a quiet life with his family, far from the hustle and bustle of the modern world. Most thought-provoking is how the image of a silent hero on the football field strangely mirrored his real life. While on the field, he was a treasure trove of experience. Off the field, Nilton was a humble man, always concerned about the future of his country's football. However, his final years were a tragic battle with Alzheimer's disease. He gradually forgot his goals and trophies, but the world will never forget him. On November 27, 2013, Nilton Santos passed away at the age of 88 due to complications from a lung infection. His passing closes a glorious chapter in football history, leaving behind a thought-provoking life story about loyalty and enduring wisdom. Vava was a terror to every defense at the 1962 World Cup in Chile. At 27, he was at the peak of his career as a center forward, possessing devastating power and a fearsome killer instinct. With 4 goals, he became the tournament's top scorer, especially with his 2 goals in the final, making history as the first player to score in 2 consecutive World Cup finals. Vava's performance at 27 brilliantly demonstrated the character of a lion in the penalty box, someone who always knew how to shine brightest in crucial moments. After the World Cup, he played for Club America in Mexico and later for San Diego Toros in the United States, carrying his Brazilian goal-scoring mentality across the continent. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching, having managed the Brazilian U20 national team and worked as an assistant coach at prestigious clubs. Vava's personal life was a series of relentless struggles to overcome adversity. He went through difficult periods regarding his health and finances after retirement, but always maintained an optimistic spirit and a love for football. Vava was a straightforward, sincere man who deeply loved his family. The most striking contrast between his image as a fierce warrior on the field and his kind, sensitive soul off the field was remarkable. He cherished memories of his teammates and frequently organized reunions with former players. However, that courageous heart was cut short by a stroke. On January 19, 2002, Vava passed away at the age of 67. His death left fans deeply saddened by the loss of a great goalscorer who dedicated his youth to bringing joy to Brazil. Mario Zagallo was an indispensable part of the 1962 squad thanks to his versatility and tactical acumen. At the age of 30, he played energetically on the wing, both dropping deep to support the defense and surging forward to create chances like a modern midfielder. With a crucial goal in the tournament, Zagallo left his mark as one of the most intelligent players. His performance at the age of 30 demonstrated his selfless dedication to the team, laying the foundation for coach Aimoré Moreira's dynamic playing style. After his success in Chile, his career took an even more glorious turn, becoming a legend on the coaching bench. Zagallo was the first person to win the World Cup as both a player and a coach, 1970. He dedicated his entire life to football, holding every role from technical director to supreme advisor to the Seleção over several decades. In his personal life, Zagallo was known for his strong belief in the number 13 and his deep faith. He had a happy marriage of 57 years with Alcina until her death. Zagallo was a disciplined, meticulous man, extremely dedicated to his work. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role as a silent hero on the field and his real life. That sharpness and composure seem to have become inherent in him, helping him withstand the immense pressure of being Brazil's head coach. He was a witness to history, a link between all the golden generations of Brazilian football. Today, after almost a century of brilliance, the legacy of the old wolf Zagallo lives on as a symbol of dedication and glory. However, the laws of time spare no one. On January 5, 2024, Mario Zagallo passed away at the age of 92. His passing is the loss of one of the greatest figures in football history, leaving behind a thought-provoking life story of unwavering passion. Zito was the heart and soul of the midfield, nicknamed the coach on the field. At 29, he not only played with great courage, but also controlled the tempo and motivated his teammates. It was Zito who scored the winning goal in the final against Czechoslovakia, making the score 2-1 with a powerful run into the penalty area. Zito's performance at the age of 29 brilliantly demonstrated the character of a quiet leader, one who always sacrificed personal glory to protect the stability of the entire team. After the tournament, his career continued to be closely associated with Santos, where he played a crucial role in discovering and nurturing young talents, such as Neymar and Robinho later on. He dedicated his life after retirement to working in the leadership of Santos, contributing his knowledge to the club's future. Zito's personal life was a model of seriousness and responsibility. He lived a simple, modest life in Santos, where he was considered a saint of loyalty. Zito was a family man, always maintaining composure and integrity in all circumstances. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role on the field and his real life. The image of a warrior leading his teammates perfectly embodied his life. On the field, he was a protector, while off the field, Zito nurtured the dreams of children. However, that passionate journey came to a halt after a long illness. On June 14, 2015, Zito passed away at the age of 82. His passing left a deep sadness, but his legacy of a dedicated soul and the strength of a leader will forever be a beacon for future generations of midfielders. Zozimo entered the 1962 World Cup at the age of 29 as a reliable anchor in the defense. A worthy replacement for his predecessors, he played the full 540 minutes, displaying an intelligent and courageous style of play. Distinguished by his excellent covering ability and fierce fighting spirit, he left an indelible mark, contributing significantly to Brazil's achievement of conceding only 5 goals throughout the tournament. Zozimo's performance at the age of 29 brilliantly demonstrated the remarkable maturation of a defender who had been a reserve in 1958. After his success in Chile, he continued to play for Bangu and Flamengo before moving to Peru and El Salvador for the final years of his career. He then embarked on a coaching career with high hopes of instilling a scientific defensive philosophy in the younger generation. Zozimo's personal life was a somber affair. He was known as a kind, emotional man who always yearned to contribute to community football. After retiring, he devoted much of his energy to developing football in impoverished areas. What is thought-provoking is the connection between his role as a silent hero on the field and his real life. While on the field, he was a defender of the net. Off the field, Zozimo faced the cruel twists of fate. His promising life journey came to a tragic and abrupt end. On July 17, 1977, Zozimo died at the age of 45 in a horrific car accident in Rio de Janeiro. His untimely passing, at the height of his coaching talent, left a huge void and immeasurable sorrow in the hearts of fans, becoming one of the most painful tragedies of the golden generation of 1962. At the age of 28, when Pelé suffered an injury, Garrincha, the angel with the crooked legs, single-handedly carried the nation on his slender shoulders. With 4 goals and magical dribbling skills that brought down defenders from Czechoslovakia, England, and Chile, he showcased the purest and wildest form of football. Garrincha's performance at 28 was the peak of a lonely genius who transformed physical adversity into eternal beauty. After the tournament, his career began to decline due to a serious knee injury and a flamboyant lifestyle. He wandered through several clubs, from Corinthians to Atletico Junior, but never rediscovered his former glory. Garrincha's personal life was a tragic saga filled with tears. He experienced several failed marriages, most notably his much-publicized relationship with singer Elza Soares. Garrincha possessed a childlike spirit, indifferent to money and fame, leading to exploitation and poverty. He succumbed to alcoholism to escape his physical and emotional pain. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his on-field role and real life. The image of a football artist bringing smiles to millions was a stark contrast to his tragic fate. Off the field, Garrincha was a lonely man, lost amidst the glory of his past. Yet, that glorious and bitter journey ended in solitude. On January 20th, 1983, Garrincha died at the age of 49 from cirrhosis and depression. His passing brought tears to the eyes of the entire nation of Brazil, mourning the fleeting joy that had faded, leaving behind a legacy of his legendary crooked legs and a thought-provoking life story about the harshness of fate. Amarildo entered the 1962 World Cup under immense pressure to replace the injured Pelé. At the age of 22, the young Botafogo player achieved the unthinkable. Nicknamed O Possuído, the Cursed One, for his explosive and fearless style of play, he scored 3 priceless goals, including the equalizer that initiated the comeback in the final. Amarildo's performance at 22 brilliantly showcased his incredible composure and confidence, proving that Brazil never lacked genius. After the tournament, he moved to Italy and achieved success with AC Milan and Fiorentina, winning the Scudetto and becoming one of the most respected foreign players in Serie A. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching, managing several clubs in Tunisia and Brazil, always maintaining his passion for passing on his experience to the younger generation. In his personal life, Amarildo was a strong and determined man. He built a stable life after years of playing in Europe, actively participating in football ambassadorship and sports commentary. Amarildo always took pride in his role as the great stand-in and maintained a good relationship with Pelé throughout his life. The connection between his on-field role and his real life was his ability to seize opportunities. It seems that the image of an unwilling hero was reflected in his brilliant career off the field. Today, after retiring, Amarildo, at the age of 85, lives a peaceful life with his family in Rio de Janeiro. His journey is a testament to relentless effort, an inspiring story of rising from obscurity to eternal glory. At the age of 21, Pelé was at the peak of his career after winning the 1958 World Cup, and was expected to dominate the tournament. However, a serious hamstring injury in the group stage match against Czechoslovakia forced him to prematurely leave the Chilean pitch. Although he only played 180 minutes and scored 1 spectacular goal, the influence of the king of football permeated the entire team. He spent most of his time on the coaching bench, encouraging and inspiring his teammates, demonstrating great character and team spirit. After the tournament, Pelé continued his journey as one of the greatest legends in history, elevating football to new heights with a 3rd World Cup title in 1970 and thousands of goals scored for Santos and the New York Cosmos. He became the global face of football, an ambassador of peace and an enduring symbol of victory. In his personal life, Pelé was a man of profound influence off the pitch. He served as Brazil's Minister of Sports and participated in countless charitable activities for UNESCO and UNICEF. However, his life was not without its low points, from failed marriages to complex family events. Pelé always faced everything with wisdom and his characteristic radiant smile. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role as king of football and his real life. The image of a hero, always carrying the expectations of the whole world, embodied him completely. Yet, that glorious journey ultimately came to an end. On December 29, 2022, Pelé passed away at the age of 82 due to multiple organ failure from colon cancer. His passing brought a somber moment to the world, leaving behind a colossal legacy in football and a life story of overcoming poverty to achieve lasting success. Hilderaldo Bellini arrived in Chile in 1962 as a revered veteran after leading Brazil to victory in At 32, Despite not playing a single minute due to tactical considerations by the coaching staff, his presence in the team was an invaluable source of morale. Bellini was not only a talented defender, but also a symbol of courage and dedication. He always maintained a high level of readiness and acted as a mentor to his younger teammates in the locker room. After the tournament, he continued to play for São Paulo and Atlético Paranaense before retiring. After hanging up his boots, Bellini did not pursue a high-profile coaching career, but chose to contribute to football in quiet managerial roles, always respected as a model gentleman of Brazilian football. Bellini's personal life was an example of integrity and compassion. He lived a peaceful life with his family in São Paulo, dedicating much of his time to community activities and fostering moral values in the younger generation of players. Bellini always pursued the philosophy, "True glory lies in character, not in medals." Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role as a guardian on the field and his real life. His steadfastness and composure made him a pillar of support for his family through all the ups and downs. However, Bellini's final years were a challenging journey as he suffered from Alzheimer's disease. On March 20, 2014, Hilderaldo Bellini passed away at the age of 83. His legacy is not only the iconic image of him raising the 1958 World Cup trophy, immortalized in a statue outside the Maracanã Stadium, but also a thought-provoking life story of sacrifice and national pride.